Okay, this is going to be a 20-foot deck, party pad, outdoor kitchen. These are 2x8s. I used 2x8s for the foundation and also for the decking material. I've looked into a bunch of different ways to do this, and I've built a few structures, and this is by far the simplest. These are just 12x12 concrete pads and directly on ground, and then I just build on top of that. So you just lay your foundation boards, your perimeter boards, and then level them up and put little supports here. Put 2 screws in each of these supports, every other board or so. And so you just level it off, get your perimeter done, and then you do the same for all the interstitial boards, and it makes it very stiff and solid. And then just run some support beams in between. This is 20 feet, so I do it every 6 feet or whatever that ends up being. One in the middle, and then one between each side. So I spaced these out too far. The first time I did it, I did like 1 foot in between. That's way too far. You really want something in the middle, so I had to come back and just add some in between. That's why it looks a little jacked up. But so if I had to do it again, I would just do closer together, maybe 6 inches, and then account for your spacing of these guys. Obviously I wasn't trying to make it straight, just trying to get it supported. So that's what I would do different next time. And then, so as far as the boards go, laying them down, once I got everything square and level, I started with this first board, and then made a straight line based on that. And then I started spacing it using these little 1/8" spacers I cut. Quickly found out that as you go, it's gonna spread out and expand, and it's not gonna be straight. So after about the 7th board, I started measuring. So what I would do is lay a board down and then tack it in the middle, measure that distance, and then try to get as close as I could to the outside. Measure each of these sides and try to match that middle distance I measured. So a little tedious, but it's going to end up leaving me with a more square structure, even though the spacing is not going to be perfect. It looks a little bit better from where I started, and you can see it expands when I started measuring, but that's not going to matter near as much as a square structure. So I'd rather have a little bit more spacing and have it square at the end of the day. So the last note is I'm toenailing these. So each of these boards that I'm nailing in, I'm coming in at an angle 30-45 degrees that way and that way. So it creates a bind, and it should create less of a tendency for the boards to come up. If you go straight in, there's nothing to fight against. They can just pop out. So I'm hoping this toenailing method will keep the boards in, and I can always come back and add screws in later. For boards that do come up, I can just go screw them down later. And I'd rather do that than take all the time to put screws in every single board. That's what I've usually done on decks, and it takes forever. So I'm hoping this works out. But I'll let you know in the comments in about a year how it's going.